Hello, everyone. Thank you all for having me here at the MSCL. Today, I am happy to show you what context maps are capable of. So we developed a tool to communicate the most complex topics in a comprehensive and comprehensible way. In the beginning, at first, my presentation will show how we initially built the publishing platform KontextMaps, and a spoiler, because knowledge that is not used at its full potential costs us all money, time, and progress. And I'll give a short introduction into how the platform works, how clients and ourselves work with it, and I will show you examples. And of course, we did some research ourselves on why visual storytelling, visual tools, and mappings in particular do work so well for knowledge transfer. And to start, I'll share my screen with you to give you a presentation. Here we go. I hope you see it.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And to start, a quote by the Austrian turned American economist Peter Drucker: to make knowledge productive, we will have to learn to see both forest and trees. We will have to learn to connect. So the challenge is to make knowledge productive. In essence, what we do is finding ways to make knowledge productive, because knowledge, information is out there. The world is full of knowledge. We do live in the age of information, after all. But it's not so easy to grasp it all. So first of all, there are several levels of how to make knowledge productive. Knowledge is can be structured in several levels. So there is, of course, the structural level of knowledge. Knowledge must be findable, must be some kind of understandable. So as you can imagine, especially texts for lawyers, they are not so easy to understand, or particle physics might be not so easy to understand for people who are not in the field. And it also has to be placed in context. So that's the structural level of knowledge. Then there's the cognitive level, that it has to be understood, it has to be interpreted, it has to be linked to other already existing elements of knowledge. So this is one major part. And the other one is just having knowledge doesn't make it productive. You have to apply it. It has to be taken into action. Decisions have to be made upon knowledge that you have, and then solutions will follow. And of course, this must be done in an organizational way, in processes, in tools, in an organization that knows how to bring knowledge from getting it into existence to having it effectively in production. The costs of unproductive knowledge are tremendous. So we looked into this a little bit, and science risks, of course, to not be understood. So this is a proven way of not getting what you want from your long studies and everything. It's money and time lost. And we as a democracy then risk that the knowledge that is made in universities and everywhere else, that is just lost. Innovation goes down, decision making takes forever, not only in companies, also in the public space. And of course, a lot of ideas also get lost. We got a lot of studies on this, recent ones, of course, and it is, in the age of information, it's staggering to see how little of it is actually really used. So how do we go about it? Every topic, every knowledge is derived from a lot of sub-aspects, and they are interconnected. Every piece of knowledge, every piece of information is interconnected and forms a big topic. Every complex topic is multidimensional and built from diverse aspects which are interdependent and connected on several levels. However, the key to really understand a complex topic is always to see the context. And the challenge that we face is how can we convey overview to see the big picture, the context, how every aspect is connected to the others, and detail in the most comprehensive and comprehensible way. So we can communicate to a lot of people and have them understand what we want to communicate. As a solution, we came up with a pretty simple idea. Let's visualize the information web, the links between these aspects, and put the visualization into an interactive platform in which the reader can literally delve deeper. So here you can see how this looks when it's in use on a tablet. The reader has the opportunity to playfully investigate a topic and find by chance aspects they never thought of before, and also what they already might know. In other words, it's an interactive knowledge map for complex information. It combines overview, context, and details. As a result, we have built the platform KontextMaps, where everything that matters is on one map. KontextMaps are already in use, as you already said, in the following industries. It is used in educational, professional training, Aus- und Weiterbildung in German, and science communication. A big part of our business is actually in legal and compliance communication within corporates, because, yeah, those are topics that are complicated. Nobody wants to read about them, but they have to be read and understood. And so they work very well with context mappings. And a big part of our business is in consulting, where consulting companies use the mappings to communicate what they are about to do in a company and why, especially. As you can see, here are some examples, and I will dive into a few of them deeper and explain why they are built the way they are. First of all, 5G technology in Europe. This is a project we did together and with the European Parliament Research Service. And the aim was to give decision makers and the general public the tool to understand what 5G technology is really about and what the rollout in Europe will be like. And as you can see, there's like a title that shows the different aspects from the technology, politics, regulation, the economy is a big part. And the reader can see what this topic is all about. You can already see what is possible to investigate as a reader, and especially how everything is interconnected. There are a lot of interviews with experts from the different fields, all combined in here. And this mapping was done together with the research service by us. We had a team of journalists, let's say, and the team from the science research service to build this mapping. And in total, it's like a textbook, 300 pages of text. It would have been a PDF nobody reads. it offers a glossary. It has lots of links. Of course, it has sources because it had to have scientific height. So it's really in deep researched to give the full picture. The next example I want to show you is alternative protein sources, again for the European Parliament's Research Service. And this is very different from the first one, because here we had 3 studies that were given to us, and the aim was to visualize those studies to show what they are all about, because they, of course, like most studies, they came in a PDF, a few hundred pages, very boring text and not really readable. And they wanted, of course, also to read and understand for the decision makers and the general public to read through this to make a sound decision. And here you will see it looks very different from the first one, and it's really the study that looked into different aspects of alternative proteins, algae, insects, and the others, and it looked into energy use, environmental impact, and this goes for all 4 of them. And so the reader can compare what they are made of, how they are different from one another, and there are also, of course, the conclusions that the studies offer, and so the reader can dive into this, and here we can see the state of play, so where are we currently, and then the future, where this might go to in the future. Probably we won't be eating those things, but the animals who we consume will eat these alternative proteins. Of course, here you can see it's also with a table of content, like the other articles as well. Another example is the financial globe of the University of Zurich. They had a seminar, it took 2 weeks, I think, where they taught staff how to handle financials. Where does money come from? Where can I spend it? How can I spend it? What do I need to do if I want to get money for my troubles or something like that? And it kind of replaced that seminar, and the financial division of the university now uses this financial globe to communicate how staff should work with money. And one particular interesting thing about this is it has, for once, the path you can see is clicked through right now, so you can actually lead the reader where you want them. And the other thing is it also is multilingual. So right now you can see it's in German. Everything is in German. On the top right of the screen, you can see a small DE, which stands, of course, for German. And in a short moment, the video will switch to the English version, and there you can see now it's all in English, and so it's possible to communicate your topic in different languages, as many as you want, actually. We just added Chinese, Japanese, and Russian as well. So yeah, it's really multilingual. The last example I want to show you is from a very different field. It was for the Creative Bund, for the German Bundeszentrale, who from the economics department. During the Corona crisis, the creative industry suffered a lot. So just think musicians or theaters, which were closed, they couldn't perform anymore. And but some people from that sector from that industry did get through the crisis better than others. Some really got really good. And so the aim here was to give the creative industry a toolkit how to get resilient in crisis and how to use what I have or what my network can give. And it is the same thing. So here the reader dives in, usually questions or something like the help thing here helps to get a reader's attention. And there are really deep methods on how to do things if something goes wrong. How can I get out of this easier? Then there's like a meta where everything is explained in theory, what resilience is all about. And last part, a lot of first-hand experiences from people who were in that process and how they managed it. No, this is the last example, right? This is from a customer of ours. It's the education group in Austria, and they are building knowledge mappings for pupils in schools. And so in this case, we didn't have to do anything about how this is built. They do it all by themselves. This even, not this mapping, but an earlier one won a medal for educational communication. And you can see how they convey this rather large topic to pupils. I think they are aged 10 to 12. All right. We built the web app KontextMaps to give knowledge workers an easy way to publish digital knowledge maps easily. How does this work? It's a content management system, really, to edit, manage, and create interactive knowledge maps. How does that look like? It's I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with mind mapping tools where you draw on a canvas what your topic looks like, or for brainstorming sessions, this is a really helpful tool. And on the one side, KontextMaps looks the same. So it's really a mind mapping tool where you can work together with others to build a map. On the other side, it's a publishing tool that lets you publish like it's a website that is also integratable into every other website. It's easy to use, of course. You can see here that you can use it with several people. So this is a fast forward video of how some people are building a map. There are a lot of elements that are there for templates, and it's a no-code CMS, so you don't need to be a web developer to do anything here, because it's if you're used to using Word or PowerPoint or something like that, I'm pretty sure you will be able to use a context map. You can individually design every part of the map. So from the background, where you can also place images or colors, everything works pretty easy. You can add images, videos. It's a creation tool and an online publication in that sense. So we also use it for workshops where you would usually use one of the major mind mapping tools, and with the benefit of having a publication after. You can have it public or private. So of course, a lot of our clients are big corporates, and they don't want their information to go out into the world. They just want to have it for themselves. And of course, that's possible with the context maps. And some want to have it all online. The examples I just showed you, those are all publicly available. The process we use is usually In the first step, we invite experts and teams, give them a short briefing of what we want to do. It's almost always a workshop with everyone on board to build the first structure of a map. And then it's just a refinement of content and design. There are a lot of more, let's say, technical features that can be used, like, let's say, it can be connected to APIs for existing content. We worked with the university in Hamburg, who had a database and automatically built a map. And it was kept alive as long as the project was going on. And then in the end, it can be published. It's then online, but you can continue to make updates. And only when you push the live button again, then the updates will also be pushed online. Now, you know what we do and why we do it for the mappings, and in part also how it's done. In conclusion of that part, we very much cover the two first essential parts of making knowledge productive, the structural and the cognitive parts. The other two parts can only work if the first two parts work. And that is where it also gets into the going to get practical. If part 1 and 2 do not work, and we know that those work with context maps, the other two do not work either. On the last parts, it's more of a consultancy service that needs to be done, but the first part, we cover it. So now, to give you a short break before I continue with the why this works so well, here are some voices from users and clients and readers. Feedback is great overall, and our statistics also tell us the same results. Readers stay for a very long time on the mappings. They do look into many different aspects, and they do engage with the content. So what makes context maps work so well? We as humans see the world with our eyes, at least most of us humans, and 80 to 90% of information that we get from the outside goes through our eyes. And our brain surface is dedicated to visual processing, and it's a large part of it, 30 to 40%. What is particularly interesting here, however, is that images are processed much faster than text. Processing differences between image and text is that processing an image goes 60,000 times faster. It takes about 13 milliseconds to process an image and 100 milliseconds to add meaning. In contrast, it takes about 4 seconds to immediately understand a simple sentence in text. We humans are visual beings. So, of course, this calls for visual tools to help us think. And such tools have been used for ages. You might know the knowledge trees from old book, Al-Khwarizmi's, the mathematician used visual networks, Galilei did, and even the ancient Greeks were already aware of the usefulness of visualizations, and they drew different perspectives into the sand and then talk about them. So this is nothing new. It's actually a very well proven toolkit, proven through centuries of use. The playful experience through non-linearity is something that lets us humans understand the topic very well. And I can now see what I don't know. It's the metacognition. It helps me reflect on how my own thinking works. And it does help to understand my position in the overall context and what I might miss. So when we use visual tools, and it does apply to all of them, not just context maps, decision quality and speed goes up. We use knowledge more efficiently and more effective. It leads to more innovation and more collaboration. So this is all what we know and why visual tools are getting used more and more. We still don't know why. It's pretty easy. When we understand something, when the light bulb goes bright, the somatosensoric cortex is activated. It's the area of the brain that controls lots of our feelings. And positive feelings are triggered by the release of dopamine, and that can be measured. When we understand something, dopamine is released. And dopamine makes us happy. So understanding something makes us happy. And happy readers, users, stay longer in the topic and will understand even more. And that's where I want to end my presentation. And I'm happy for the discussion right now. Thank you very much.